Greetings, greetings. I had to come on live. I wasn't really planning on it. I was going to probably come on live Monday, but that is not the case. So I'm just going to allow some to come on up in here tonight. So we're going to talk about who gave the UGLE its authority, because it seems to me that most Masons seems to believe that the UGLE holds authority over all Freemasonry. That's what it seems to me to become. And so tonight we're going to have that conversation. Who gave the UGLE its authority? Who gave it to them? And who gave them their authority? Where did this authority come from in Freemasons? So damn others if they don't have it. Who gives this authority? And that's the question tonight. That's the topic for tonight. Who gave the UGLE its authority? That's what we got to do tonight. We got to find out how does Grand Lodges get their authority? Who gives Grand Lodges their authority? Because it seems to me a lot of times brothers, sisters get caught up on some crazy stuff without really doing some serious research for themselves to find out for themselves. Instead of listening to people, go do your research, find out for yourself, and come to your own conclusion. It may be very different from your Grand Lodge stance. So tonight we're going to talk about who gave the UGLE its authority. And for those of you who consider to be experts, you may have some intel, you may have some knowledge about some things. Please do, by all means, talk to me tonight. Call into the show. If you think that you can really get into this topic tonight, regardless of your membership in your various jurisdictions, please do call in. Let's have this conversation tonight. Because for far too long, many of us say, well, if it doesn't come from the UGL, then it ain't right. Well, you know what? We're going to have this conversation tonight. Because I think, from what I've been reading in the various chat groups, if it doesn't come from the UGLE, then it doesn't make sense. It's not happening. They seem to be the end all. Most people, Masons, would call them the mother Grand Lodge. And we're going to talk about that too. Is that that other Masons gave to them? Did they assume that name? How did they become the mother Grand Lodge? Is it because the system that has been developed, and some feel, well, they came up with the system, so we will call them the mother? We're going to have that discussion tonight. Because a lot of people don't go and do their own research. A lot of people don't read for themselves. They only go off of stuff that somebody has told them instead of finding out for yourself. And then hold the conversation. That's where we're at tonight. So if you got something you need to add to this conversation tonight, and you feel bold enough to call in, be it whatever jurisdiction you are from, and you want to talk and have that conversation, please do. You know the number. It hadn't changed yet. We're still sticking with the 619-985-1184. So I'm doing this meeting before I go to my lodge meeting tonight. We're having two, in my jurisdiction, on stated meeting nights, we have two meetings. One is for our pending bodies, and tonight is our York Rite meeting, along with our Blue Lodge meeting. So we'll spend a few hours on the Blue Lodge, and then we would table, close out, whatever. Then we will go to our pending body meeting, which would be the York Rite. So it's going to be a long night for me, but I got some time before I shoot in to my meeting tonight. So I'm just here, and we're going to need to have this conversation. I think it's something that needs to be had because a lot of people don't know. They assume that the UGLE is the founders of Freemasonry. If I'm wrong, tell me you're wrong. But I know that I'm right because a lot of people believe, a lot of Masons believe that the UGLE is the founders of Freemasonry. And they're not. They're not the founders of Freemasonry. They're not. So we're going to get right into the show tonight. If you want to call in once again, the number is 619-985-1184. And the topic should be hot. The topic should be hot because a lot of people feel, A lot of people really feel that if it doesn't come from mainstream Grand Lodges, it ain't right. A lot of people feel that if it doesn't come from PHA, it's not right. And a lot of people tell me, why don't you just shut up from talking about PHA and mainstream? I'm not. You know why? Because there's a lot of brothers don't know. They just don't know. They think that's the only way to go, and it's not the only way to go. So I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep educating people about it and putting it out there in your face. There's nothing you can do about it. You can tell me to shut up all you want to. You ain't no good. You're not a Mason. You're clandestine. I've heard it all. But people need to know. Okay? Individuals need to know. All right? That even though mainstream is the biggest body of Masonry in the United States, but they're not the only body of Masons. PHA may be the biggest Masonic black Masons, but they're not the only body of black Masons. Let's just chop it up. I mean, some people might say, well, why you got to bring race into it? Why you got to bring that? Look, I'm just dealing with reality. I'm dealing with what's in front of me and looking beyond that. Because a lot of us look at what you have now, but you don't look beyond where you're at right now. This is why you're still where you're at. You're still stuck, wondering in the wilderness why you can't get ahead and why things don't work out for you. You ever thought about that? So tonight we're just going to be honest and have a good conversation about it. So for those who are bold enough to call in, let's have the conversation. You know, I get tired of going to the beauty store where Chinese people selling to our people why we won't own them. Hey, that's a good damn question. Absolutely. You know, and that's the thing we got to look at. That is the thing we got to look at. So we're going to have this conversation. I got me a cake, you know, and this is before my meeting. I got about an hour and a half to go, but I ain't going to be on here all night because people been asking me questions, you know, like if I have to answer them and like, you know, and what about this and what about that? But then when I pose questions to you, you can't answer the full question. But you want to challenge me in my legitimacy. We even had this conversation tonight. I liked it. It's pretty good. So, I know some people would say, he shouldn't be eating while he's on the show. Until the brothers of the craft who put this show together, until they tell me, man, you know what? You shouldn't be eating on the show. I won't eat. But until then, I'm hungry right now. So we're going to get right into this. See, the problem that we have is we all know the problem. And that's the thing. We all know the problem. And some of us have solutions. But because so many of us are hell-bent on not accepting the antidote to the solution, till we just freeze out. We do. See, most, not all, most Prince Hall brothers believe the solution is that everybody should leave their Grand Lodge alone and join them. That would be for the betterment of black people because they feel that they've been around longer. Most of my PHA brothers would say the same thing. Hey, come on home. You know, we've been here longer. We've been here longer than PHA. You know, but sometimes for the sake of being healthy, you have to think beyond that. What works for you may not work for me. Okay? The doctor that is good for you may not be a good doctor for me. That's why you have a lot of doctors. And I look at that as far as Freemason within the black atmosphere, the black community. You know, everybody is not going to work together. You're not. But for those who can work together, for the betterment of Freemasonry, do that. That is your solution. Do that. Respect the organization. Do that. It is not complicated at all. You make it complicated. You bring in your personal feelings. This is not about your feelings and your emotions. Not at all. What about them? They're Masons in my eyes. They may not be Masons in somebody else's eyes. Because of their structure, somebody may say, nah, I don't deal with it. I don't deal with it. I don't like their structure. Some may say the same thing about Modern Free. I don't like their structure. If you don't like their structure, then don't be a part of their organization. Don't be. But you can't say that they're not Masons. You can't say that because of their structure. Because if you ever leave the United States, you will find out that the structure of Freemasonry somewhere else is totally different than where you at. It is true. I don't know a whole lot about International Modern Free. I don't. But from what I do know, their structure may be off-centered based on the structure of other organizations that I know. But who am I? You see, that black man who's a Mason and International, that's my Masonic brother. I don't care what you say. Well, you know what? Their history. Well, you know what? I don't have time for that. Their history. Every Grand Lodge, and I say it again, every Grand Lodge have a shady history. Every last one of them. That's true. That's a fact. Okay? It is not my responsibility to tear an organization down because of their history. It is my responsibility, not only as a Mason, but as a black man, period, to lift that brother up, to cheer that brother up and that sister, and see that they prosper like I prosper. That's my responsibility. And now, granted, I'm going to get hurt along the way. I am. I've learned that lesson. I've learned along the way in life that I'm going to get hurt by people who look like me. But I shouldn't stop helping my brother or sister to get ahead. If I'm ahead, you should be ahead. And that's the problem that most of you have with yourselves. You can't stand for other people to be successful. You can't. Now, tonight's show is going to be about ULG. Who gave it its authority? You know they met at a bar. They was all getting drunk. And they decided for themselves what they would do. Could somebody tell me what lodge did these Masons come from? What lodge were they a member of? Before they met at Apple Tree Tavern, before they went to the bar to have a few drinks, what lodge meeting were they coming from? Who were their wishful masters, their senior wardens and junior wardens? Who were they? Did anybody write it down? I need to know because I have no clue. He said, Turtle Lodge number 1. Okay. You know, you're right. None of them were. But here's the thing. We're in 2019. And within the black structure of Freemasonry, all over social media, it is crazy right now. And we all know why. So tonight, I want to talk about who gave the UGLE their authority. Because apparently everything that rests in Masonry rests on the authority of the UGLE. I need a so-called regular Mason to answer me that. And you know who you are, traveling man. I need for you to answer me who gave the UGLE their authority. I know you're probably on tonight. I think I seen you. If I didn't, I apologize. But I believe I seen you, bruh. So I'm just trying to get it together and to find out who gave the UGLE their authority. I will agree. They took it upon themselves. They even added a 3rd degree. I'm just saying. I need some help tonight. Come on now. You master builders. We did. Ah. What are you getting at by saying who gave them the authority? Come on. What I'm getting at is this. Grand Lodges, period. That has the power to initiate, pass, and raise Masons. They do it according to their bylaws and constitution, their structure. So, since most Grand Lodges, and in particular my PHA brothers, not all, but their grand body depends a lot on on UGLE. That's my opinion based on my conversation. That a lot of them depend on the UGLE and which way they should go. They do. The ideal is if you're not recognized by the UGLE, you're not a recognized body. So we're gonna take that stance right there. Okay, we're gonna take that stance. If your Grand Lodge is not recognized by the UGLE, then you are not considered to be regular Masons. I'm taking that stance because that's all I've been told by other counterparts. Okay. That's where they like to run with it. So my question to you is, who gave them their authority? Who gave it to them? And where did they get the rituals from? See, I have my opinion of where they got them from. Okay? I have my own opinion. I will share that with you later on. So who gave them the authority and where did they get the rituals from? Because apparently somebody has to give authority in order for a Grand Lodge to exist. Somebody has to give them authority in order for them to exist. A lot of clandestine Grand Lodges that are open, that are operating under the corporation charter, use Mackey's jurisprudence. Yeah, but see, the thing is, you don't need a corporation charter. That corporation charter thing, that kind of tugs me the wrong way. But I know that some Grand Lodges get what you call, they incorporate themselves to do business within the confines of their state. Okay? That's what they do. They incorporate themselves to do business within that state. But I'm going to share this with you. What I've learned recently is that a true sitting Grand Lodge does not need to be incorporated because it is a private organization. It is a fact. Freemasonry is a private organization. What has happened is that because of the many grants, because of those influential people who are in Freemasonry, it became incorporated. Now you get grants, you get this, you get that, and all other such goodies that comes from the state from being incorporated in a non-profit organization. Now, the true essence of Freemasonry is a private organization. That's true. They were never meant to be incorporated. Okay? They were never meant to be incorporated. It was always a private organization. That's why women's couldn't be a part of Freemasonry, because it was a private organization at one time. And now it's not that. Do you know that if a woman, a female, wanted to be a Mason, and she come knocking on your door, and she wants an application, if you refuses her, oh, you could be sued. Oh, you didn't know that, right? You incorporated, non-profit organization, receiving benefits from the state, grants, whatever, loans, whatever. And you are denying that person to be a member of your organization, which has a non-profit 501c3 in the state. I'm just saying, it's coming. I was told the UGLE said that they never said that we to be all. And you're right. They did say that. As a matter of fact, I have a letter that a brother wrote to the UGLE, and they said the exact same thing you said. They were told that the UGLE said that they would never. That they said they were never to be the all in all. That's true. This is what gets me, but we give them that. We do. And there's no disrespect to the UGLE. There's no disrespect. I'm just saying it and putting it out there because this is what is done on this side of the pond. Okay? By people that look like me. And it's true. So here's my thing. This is what I know from my reading. Okay? This is what I know. Freemasonry comes from the continent of Africa. Period. It does. If you read your ritual, and most of you have Masonic rituals, it's all written in regards to Africa, including some of your passwords. Look them up, see what they mean. All right? Look them up, see what they mean. Look up the words Jubilee, Jumalom, Jubilee. Look, see what they mean. Okay? Not only that, not only does the ritual itself states allegories in regards to the continent. Look at how it's set up. Look at your first step when you step off with the left. What does it mean that when you step off with the left? That is an ancient custom from the continent. It says that when a man steps off with his left, he steps off with his heart in battle. Okay? It says that when a man steps off with his left, he steps off with his heart and isn't in battle. You know, war. This is that time. You know, it's equally. This is why in military they step off on their left. You never hear them say step off on your right. It's always left. That comes from an ancient custom. You can find that if you go do some digging. Now, once you understand that, let's look at the aprons. The Egyptians wore aprons. Now, most of would say, well, they come from stonemasons who worked in the guilds. I once believed that. I did, until I started reading and digging a little bit more and found myself waking up a few hours later and figuring out that's not necessarily true either. So I put two and two together as I began to read and said, oh. And then I started looking at Egyptian statues. And like, oh, the apron. What does it mean? Then I started looking at the symbols and where did these symbols come from? You can find every Masonic symbol. You can find them on a continent in stone, engraved. Oh, yeah, you can. Most of us already know it, but we sure like to deny it. No, you do. That is not accurate information because of the Prince Hall Grand Lodges are not recognized by the UGLE of England. Only a very few. You're right, only a very few are. I'm just looking at it from the overall picture. You're absolutely correct. But I'm looking at it from the overall picture because that's what 99.9% of them will tell you. Okay? Now, with that being said, it is from my reading and my understanding that I hope most of you would do yourselves, that the origin of Freemasonry comes from the continent of Africa. That's where it started from, period. Next, let's talk about Kemet and the burning of the libraries by Alexander. Let's talk about that. Do you think they burned every book? No, they did not burn every book. They burned quite a few of them, but they didn't burn them all. So when you think about the ancient customs of Freemasonry, when you think about where it comes from and the knowledge that those books had from the mystery schools of life. See, those people, when they went into allegories and dealt with symbols, symbols was the first language. You know, understanding the first language and using allegories and symbols, and then you put that down and you can write a whole story. And this is how the story is written over in Egypt, over in Africa, over in Ghana, wherever. On the continent, this is how they told the story. With a bird, what does the bird symbolizes? You know, what does the shovel and the ankh and the different crosses, what do they symbolize? Because this is where you find them at. But oh no. Oh no. So let's go on. So as we view this thing we call Freemasonry, and we know, I'm gonna say I know. Okay, I know that it comes from the continent of Africa, so I'm not speculating anything. That's why I said months ago, I'm no longer a speculative Mason. I know from which the origin comes from. Okay, start there. Then I know where the symbols originated from. Start there. Then let's look at the rituals that we have today. The rituals we have today are watered down mystery school rituals. Watered down mystery school rituals that was found in other books, historical books. I have a book that is called here's one of my, I know I had it over here. Nope. Give me just a second. Here's the book I got right here. You see that? 3 initiations. This has 3 initiations in it. All right? And I crack when I read it. I'm like, wow, this shit is deep. You know, it is. It's all dealing in the 7 hermetic principles. The principles of correspondence, the principle of vibration, the principles of mentalism. I mean, the principles of rhythm. This book has 3 initiations in it. This is a ritual. It is so much information out there in regards to different occults, I would say, and different initiations. And in my other book I got over there deals with that. You know, it deals with that. And I'm like, wow, this book right here, The Fire Within You. No, the light. Okay, light the fire within you. This book right here is a deep book. Okay, it's a deep book. And this is written by a teacher I knew. You know, bless her soul. And I don't know if you can see the information on the back. Okay, but man, she got heavy off into a lot of stuff. How to cope with fear, pain, and action, plan. I mean, the promise to yourself. I mean, a lot of stuff that would blow you away. And I'm quite sure a lot of brothers out here, you got plenty of books. This one, for instance, Unseen Forces. This is another good one. I mean, come on, when you think about Freemasonry and who wrote what, I just want you to wake up a little bit, because you're questioning me to death. Hawkins, where did your Grand Lodge get its authority from? Well, let me tell you where my Grand Lodge gets its authority from. It gets its authority from the membership. That's where the lodges that organized ourselves into a Grand Lodge, that's where we get our authority from. And I'm going to tell you this here. I don't find nowhere that other Masonic bodies are so scrutinized. We scrutinize each other's until we can't do it no more. But we wouldn't dare scrutinize mainstream Grand Lodges. We wouldn't do it. And you know who I'm talking to. You would question me and my legitimacy, but you wouldn't dare do the same thing to a mainstream brother or a Grand Lodge. I've never heard of any black Grand Lodges, including my own, to question the legitimacy of a white Grand Lodge. Never. You've never did that. But we'll do it to ourselves. We will question every black man's jurisdiction. We will criticize their legitimacy. We do it. We need to stop. We do. And when we stop doing that, then we maybe we can understand masonry just a little bit better, just a little bit more. Maybe we can start operating under the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man. Just maybe we can understand what the mottos really says when you think about charity, relief, and truth. Just maybe if we took those things that we claim to hold so dear to us and really began to practice those things as we should, maybe we wouldn't waste our energy on challenging other people in regards to their legitimacy. Just maybe we will be able to understand what Freemasonry is trying to show us and why it is so easy to bring in other individuals and members from various jurisdictions to be under the same roof. Just maybe if we took our energy and put it into Freemasonry as we should, for those who understand it, just maybe we can be a better man, a better woman. Just maybe we can do that. But until we wake up and realize that we are under attack, we're going to be where we at. We are. Freemasonry is older than the Grand Lodge system. Yes, it is. It is older than the Grand Lodge system. The ideal is we've given too much power. We've given too much respect. We've given our all to a system that was already ours, and somebody took it and gave it back to you and sold it to you with a bow and told you that if you don't get it from us, you're no good. You're clandestine, you're bogus, you're this, you're that, if it doesn't come from us. That's what they did. And you sons of gun bought it. You bought it. And I don't believe, how could you be so hook-wink, bamboozle? How can you do that to yourself without going and doing your own research and coming to your own conclusion? And when you do that, then you can say, okay, whatever. But you allow yourselves to be so played with like putty, manipulated. You allow yourselves to get so and all caught up. So, ooh, you do that to yourself. Like I told a young man tonight, after we did an investigation tonight with a young man. And we told him, we said, look, Freemasonry is going to be bigger than where you're at. So with your travels, and he travels a lot. This young man travels a lot. I'm very proud of his success and where he's come from and where he's at right now. And he's had some things in his life. He's been some places in his life he shouldn't have been and done some things he shouldn't have done. But with that being said, with all due respect to what he's trying to accomplish, now that he's matured, he wanted this to be a part of his life. He has a child, so he wanted to be around men who was successful, who was doing things. And he seen me one day and asked me, are you a Mason? I told him, yes, I am. I'm interested. I said, you are? He said, yes, I am. So we just completed his interview tonight and with his background check. And yeah, there were some things I didn't like. I told him. But do I hold that against him in his young age? No, I don't. I'm looking at where he's at right now and what he's trying to accomplish. And if I can help him to be successful on his journey, well, damn it, I'm going to do it. Now, most of you will probably say, well, this is the problem we have. Well, you know what? It's our fault that our young people are where they at. Because we've told them, well, you ain't no good. You ain't this and you ain't that. If we don't lift each other up, who will? If we keep giving authority to other people to tell them, so they can tell us who we are, then what type of sense does that make? Tell me, brothers and sisters, what type of sense does that make for somebody else to tell you who you are? Because that's what we have done. We've given the very essence, our very being, our very all to an organization, a system that did not want you in the beginning, which was yours in the beginning, and somebody bold put a bow on it and said, hey, if you accept this, then you are legit. Knowing that you was legit from the beginning. It was yours all along. But we can't get that through our head. We are too busy wanting acceptance. I don't need your acceptance. I don't. I'm speaking for me. I'm not speaking for my Grand Lodge. I can't. I'm not right there. I'm just saying me in particular. No. But I understand this. No man gets anywhere in this world by himself. No man, no woman. Period. And I know a lot of people say, well, you know, black man freed himself. I've heard that. You didn't free yourself. Our ancestors did not free themselves. Okay? Let's have a clear understanding on that. And I'm not off subject tonight too, because my subject tonight is who gave the UGLE its authority. And I'm just putting it all in the context of society and where we're at right now, and why we give so much of our energy and our authority away to those people who did not care for us in the beginning, but we valued their opinion. No, I cannot value another man's opinion over one that looks like me. I can't do it. Now, once you have messed up with me, then I reevaluate. But I'm not going to put and value somebody else's opinion over yours. Some may say, well, Hawkins, that's not right. It's right for me. It's right for me. This is how I help in my own way another brother to be successful, to lift him up, to put him on his way. That works for me. No, it's not going to happen that way. Not here. Not with me. So this is where I'm at. I would like for the traveling man and those others who feel that you need the UGLE to validate who you are. I need for you to explain to me who gave them their authority to govern all Masons. Who gave them that? I'm waiting, because that was you was hitting me up, traveling man. We was going back and forth with that. So if you're on tonight, I would like for you, if possible, to come out and have that conversation, to let me know where did all this come from, you know. So this is where we're at tonight. So get on board. Let's have that conversation. Alex Fitzgerald, where you at tonight? Is Alex on tonight? The Grand Lodge of England recognizes the Grand Lodge of Ireland and the Grand Lodge of Ireland and Scotland. Okay, the only child. All right, so they have recognition amongst themselves. If they didn't, if the UGLE did not have recognition with Scotland or Ireland, would they be considered clandestine? I'm asking. If the UGLE did not recognize Scotland and Ireland, would they be clandestine? You know? IPR is initiated, passed, and raised. If you ever see the initiation IPR, that's what it means. Initiated, passed, and raised. And let me tell you this here. The teachings of Freemasonry are the teachings of the ancient customs in the various secret societies that existed on the continent of Africa. It is true. It is true. You may say, well, what are those ancient teachings? What are they? You know, where did they come from? They're life lessons that was written down and passed down, be it verbally or even through symbolism. That's what those ancient teachings are. But see, it took a person a long time to go through the mystery schools. And as they went through the mystery schools, they wrote down their life journeys in the esoteric and esoteric things that they ventured through. And see, this was the teachings of Freemasonry, the illuminated mind. Okay? The illuminated mind. And in the process, they would pass down these things verbally. Okay? And this is how it was done. You had Christ, who was part of the Essenes or the Essenes. Okay? You had John the Baptist. These were secret societies. These was groups of men amongst themselves teachings. Okay? How come John the Baptist disciples didn't join Jesus' disciples? Why they didn't come together and join and be one happy group? They was both working and doing the same thing at the same time. But the teachings, okay, it was the teachings. And when you understand that, and when you're able to break that down, then you'll be like, okay, all right, I can kind of work with it. You know, and this is what we have to understand. We're talking about authority. The Grand Lodge of England assumed the authority after they organized. And they told everyone else that if it didn't come from them, it was not legit. And then Scotland and Ireland said, no, what are you talking about? We're already here. Oh, well, you know what? We'll have some agreement with you guys. Yeah, you know. But everybody else, no. If it doesn't come from us, it's not legit. They said it. I read it for myself. And once that went out, it spread it like wildfire. It started to grow, the ancients and the moderns. And then between the Grand Lodge of England, and then there was the moderns. We all know in 18, I want to say 1813 or something like that, or somewhere along there, they came together. They came together. Yeah. Okay. You know, we've heard the story and formulated the UGLE. We've heard that. But that's all cool. But the authority that they have does not govern every jurisdiction. The authority that the UGLE have is the authority over their jurisdiction. Plain and simple. The authority that John G. Jones Grand Lodge, Ancient Free and Accepted Masons of the state of California, is only over the lodges that it operates. Period. And when we're able to understand that, then you know this other thing that you may be so hard on for wouldn't bother you so much. This sounds like a question of timing. Yes, the practice was before the UGLE, but if nothing was claimed, technically sounds like simply took it, flipped it, and put in a name on it. Yes. Absolutely. You know? When the Templars were in the Holy Land searching for the Dead Sea Scrolls treasures, they discovered the Hermetic teaching. Oh, come on, Alex. Alex Fitzgerald, don't go there. Don't do that. Don't go there. Don't do that. Nope. Because your hard on is for the UGLE. So when you talk about what the Templars discovered as far as the Hermetic teachings are concerned, no. Nope. No. We're not gonna do that one. And you probably say, what are you talking about, Hawkins? What are you talking about? You know? Yeah, because you and I have been having that conversation today, for the most part. You know? We've been having that conversation for the most part today. So let's see. One brother asked me, so is it true? Can you confirm Ancient Free and Accepted Mason did it without a petition, resolution, and vote from their prospective jurisdictions? When you are the Grand Master of State in office, you can do whatever you want because you are the Grand Lodge walking. And then After you've done the things that you've done on your schedule for the year, when you come to grand session, you give a report of the things that you've done. When the grand session, when the Grand Lodge is not in session, the Grand Master is the Grand Lodge. Now, I'm only speaking for my jurisdiction, mind you. Okay, I'm not speaking for all of the black, ancient, free, and accepted Mason or any other jurisdiction. I'm speaking specifically for John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California, ancient, free, and accepted Mason, because that is in our Constitution. That is part of our bylaws. That is part of when we are not in session. The Grand Master is the Grand Lodge walking. Period. That's how it is here. I can't vouch or say anything else for anybody else. So, with that being said, he has the authority to assemble other Masons together and bestow upon a worthy brother, okay, the degrees of Freemasonry. In our jurisdiction, he has that authority, okay? I hope that kind of helps you out a little bit. And I'm going to say this. Superstars who are Masons, if they are a superstar before they become a Mason, they're not getting initiated. They are not getting initiated. Hear me clearly. If they are superstars before they are Masons, they are not getting initiated. Shaq was not initiated, passed and raised in like most of us, okay? Let's just be honest. He was not done that way. All right? Michael Jordan being a Q, he was not online for 7 weeks. Come on, guys. For people who are dignitary like that, for people who are like that, there are exceptions that Masons and other organizations do. Including in my jurisdiction, if you are a clergy, in my jurisdiction, if you are a clergy, there's a different initiation for you. I can't speak for everybody, but I do know if you are a clergy, in this jurisdiction, there is a different initiation. You don't go through the same bite that other common persons will go through. You don't. And the reason you don't go through the same bite is because you're already illuminated. How can you bring somebody who's already illuminated from darkness to light? You already know the book, a volume of sacred law. Be it whatever book it may be. Maybe it is the Torah. Maybe it is the Quran. Maybe it is the Holy Bible, and it's whether it's the King James or the NIV. Maybe it is the Kabbalah. Maybe it is another book. But that's the book you know. And that's the book you represent as a clergy, as a priest, as whatever may be the title, as an elder. So your initiation process, because you are illuminated, is a little different than others who may have come before or may come after you. So what does it look like? What does it look like? Do you think Richard Pryor was initiated, passed, and raised? Come on, guys. Who gave them the authority? The Grand Master. The Grand Master. So to answer the question tonight, where did England get its authority? They assumed the authority. They took the authority for themselves. That's where it comes from. Now, other Grand Lodges have done the same. Does that make them less legitimate? No, it doesn't. You don't have to agree with them or recognize them. But it is what it is. They are acting accordingly. They have their own constitution, their own bylaws for which they abide by. And the rules of Freemasonry for which they govern themselves by. And they have amenity with other jurisdictions, be it foreign or be it domestic. These Grand Lodges do their work according to their own constitution, their own bylaws. So they continue to uphold what we consider Freemasonry, the brotherhood of man and the fatherhood of God. This is why in Freemasonry it says clearly that in order to be a Mason, you must believe in a supreme being, giving no name to the entity. This is what draws all men to Freemasonry, as many and brothers and fellows have done before. This is what it's all about. So when we ask ourselves about this authority that one jurisdiction may have, they assumed it by its membership. That's where they get it from. That's your answer. The rituals, I would say this. The first rituals of Freemasonry were those books of the schools of mysteries. Plain and simple. It's not rocket science. And what has happened is that it has been passed down, and passed down. Now it's watered down. Because for those of us who remember not long ago, it was hard to become a Mason. I joined the Freemasons in 1986. August. Dang. August 1986. I joined the Freemasons. And even that time, it was pretty difficult to get into a Masonic lodge. Now, it's not that difficult because we didn't take care of Freemasonry as we should have. We didn't. I don't care what jurisdiction you're in, including my own. We didn't take care of Freemasonry as we should have. And now we're wondering, why are we in such chaos? And some may say, chaos? We're not in no chaos. What are you talking about? Come on. Be honest with yourselves. If we truly would uphold the principles of Freemasonry, if we really did that, Masonry would be in a lot better shape than it is. We are the keepers of Freemasonry. We are the authority of Freemasonry. There's no police in Freemasonry, but every Grand Lodge that will come and that has gone has the authority to police Freemasonry amongst themselves. I can't police another jurisdiction, but I can police those who are part of John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California, Ancient Free and Accepted Masons. I can police the membership by saying this is how we carry ourselves as Masonry. If you're going to represent this jurisdiction, this is the expectation. But we don't do that. We don't put expectations on our membership. So when individuals come in, they just come in and be like, yeah, baby, let's go chop it up. Let's go do this. Let's go party. Let's go da-da-da-da. There is no expectations. And the authority of the Grand Lodge is then lost because of chaos. It is lost because it is not being, the foundation is being weakened. Because we have lost the essence and teachings of a great fraternal order. We've lost it. Individually, we need to step our game up by making sure that we hold brothers accountable in your jurisdiction. Most of us won't check another brother. We won't. Most of us won't do it. We're scared. We hear another brother disrespecting another person, individual, we don't check him. We don't. We should whisper good counsel and then say, hey, brother, that's not how we carry ourselves. That's not how we do it. You should be respectful toward the next human. Even if he's a Protestant, a Catholic, a Jew, a Gentile, you should be respectful towards that individual. Who knows? You may find a friend. You might find a friend. It wasn't called Freemasonry at that time. The mystery system was taken and named Freemasonry, and they beat us to the claim. Yeah, they did. And then they assumed the authority. And then they sold it back to you and told you that if you didn't get it from them, then you're not legit. Too legit. Too legit to quick. You know, I'm just saying. So look, my time is up hand. It's time for me to go get dressed and go fellowship with the brothers tonight. I hope everybody has gotten something from this. I really hope you did. And it's not that I want to always bring race and other things into Freemasonry, but I have to in order to get my point across. I have to in order to show you that, look, this thing we call Freemasonry, the Order of the Eastern Star, is a very unique organization. But we need to take care of it. It doesn't matter what jurisdiction you're in. We need to police it ourselves and take care of it. I'm not saying you need to police the next person in his jurisdiction. Let his jurisdiction police him. However, if you and I are close friends, be it whatever jurisdiction, we need to hold each other accountable. We do. There are expectations when you come into this organization. And we should hold those who are members in your jurisdictions, you should hold them accountable. Just because the Grand Master go do some stuff that is crazy, don't mean you shouldn't hold them accountable. Just because the Grand Matron thinks that she's all of that, you should hold her accountable. Because if you don't, they will tear up your organization. Some organizations, they don't have anything in their constitution or bylaws that says that a Grand Master can be brought up on charges. So therefore, when the Grand Master hand steals money, not just amongst us, but amongst mainstream, you know, y'all don't even know. But when people are out of control, like your secretary or your treasurer, who he takes the money, but he don't give all the money to the treasurer. Okay? So people need to be held accountable in your jurisdiction. And we must understand that the authority of the UGLE was assumed by themselves. Okay? That's where they get their authority from. If you want to give it to them, they'll take that too. But if you don't go and read for yourself, you're going to get a lot of information from individuals who they just give it to you. But you got to go get it for yourself. Freedom is not free until you're dead. Think on that. It's not. That's the truth. If you're not willing to die to be free, then you'll never be free. You'll never be free. I just need for you to think just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Manly P. Hall, he goes 360 degrees. He does. He does. You keep thinking. Why y'all better start with Osiris? Oh man, yeah. Come on. For those about Osiris, for those who know, and there's a lot that don't know. They just don't get it. They just don't. So they will be where they're at. You know, they will be where they're at. This is why it's important to manage your words. Manage your words. Watch what you say. You can create with what you say, and if you put energy into the things that you want in life, you can have them. But until you understand that, you will be forever where you're at, going through the same thing every time. You want a wall built? Build the wall. And there it is. If you don't put anything into it, it's not going to happen. It's not. Nothing happens by chance. It happens when you put something into it. It's just that simple. I contend that it's not entirely based on African due to the Bible. you think the Bible come from? Come on now. The only child. Look, where do you think the Bible come from? Really? I'm just saying, what do you think that those allegories and stories come from that are in the Bible? Where do you think Jesus come from? Jesus has been here more than on one occasion, just with a different name. He has. Freemasonry of the Ancient Egyptians by Manly P. Hall is a good book for free. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Young Raheem, I appreciate that. Greetings to all. I'm just flipping through. The Bible was written in Greek. Was it before it was distorted? You see, it was written in Greek. There was after they had conquered, took books. What's the council name? The Council of Nicaea? Did I say that right? Where all of the different faiths and religion and the priests came together and they put in different things into the Bible. I want to say the Council of Nicaea. I want to say that's it. Somebody help me out before I go out tonight. The Grand Lodge gives authority, not received it. And no, we never question the mainstream, even though we know some of them have a funny start. If you know, you question them. Why do we get questioned so hard amongst ourselves? If you know that some of the mainstream Grand Lodges have a funny start, why you don't question them like you would question me? I want to know. I'm just saying. The Bible refers to astrology. It does. Just like if you go into the appending bodies of the Scottish Rite, it deals in astrology. Hear me clearly. The appending bodies of the Scottish Rite deals in astrology. It does. This is a book you need to download. Grand Templars, Decapitated. Oh, really? Prince Finley. Okay, I'll check it out. Man, there's black people under the UGLE. That's not Prince Hall. I know some black brothers who don't want to be Prince Hall Mason because they don't agree with not how they do things, but who they let in. Oh, okay. So, I'm going to leave you with this. As Dr. Clark said, the black man has no friend. Good night.